In this warm-up, in this lesson, I'm trying to reinforce two objectives that the students previously struggled with this week, which is to write the equation of lines for piecewise function, and to do that, I'm also going to have them write the equations using point-slope form to reinforce that objective that they struggle with because it's new. And so there's 4 line segments on this piecewise function. The first 2, I just have them use y equals mx plus b because it's easy to see the slope and the y-intercept on both of those. The first one has a slope of 1 up and 1 to the right, which is a slope of 1, and it's crossing the y-axis at 0. And so f of x equals x plus 0 is that line segment. The next one is a horizontal line segment, and I tell them to visualize as if the line extended on, and so it would cross the y-axis at 1. And so if that line extended on, it would just be y equals 1. The third one, the line segment, and the fourth line segment, I model with point-slope form. And so the slope of the third line is -2 because it's a rise of 2 up and 1 to the left, so 2 over -1 is -2. And I choose the 0.21 off of that line segment and plug it into point-slope form, so I get y minus 1 equals, when I distribute to both of those terms, I get -2x plus 4. And then to finish simplifying, I'm just going to add 1, so y equals 2x plus 5. It's going to be the equation of the third line segment. And then we'll make it a line segment by restricting the domain later. And so then we have the fourth line segment has a slope of 3 up and 1 to the right, so it has a slope of 3, and I chose the point 3, -1. When I plug that into the formula, I get y plus 1 when you subtract a negative equals 3x minus 9. And then to finish simplifying, you're going to subtract 1, so y equals 3x minus 10. And then, so we got 2x plus 5 for that third one, and that fourth line segment was f of x equals 3x minus 10, because remember y is equivalent to f of x, I tell them. And so then I have them evaluate down below if they know the difference between the f of x notation and when you're trying to find x. So f of 1 means that x is 1, what would y be on the graph? So when x is 1, y is also 1. F of -1 means when x is -1, what would y be? It's also -1. F of 3 means when x is 3, y is -1. And f of 8 is that last line segment. If it continued on, if you had x was 8, and you plugged into that last line segment, you would get 3 times 8 minus 10, which is going to be 14. And then they said, on the last part I had, if f of x equals 2, that means if y is 2, what is x? Well, if you go to the graph when it is 2, x is going to be 4, and so forth. I just want them to be able to go back and forth and use function notation. On that last part of the warm-up, I have them look for increasing and decreasing intervals. Increasing intervals, there's 2 line segments that are increasing, and I tell them you don't use closed brackets or anything on these, you just use parentheses always. It kind of looks like an ordered pair, but you look along the x-axis. It starts increasing, and if you look from left to right, at -1 all the way to +1 along the x-axis, so -1, 1, and the other increasing is going to be from 3 to 4, and then the decreasing is going to be only that one line segment from 2 to 3.